I'll be honest, I just finished watching the episode and I'm going through all my notes just to come up with this review. It's not easy, but you guys know I always do this every week to make sure you guys hear my thoughts on The Flash. Hello everyone, Megaman and G here, and it's time now for another weekly Flash episode review. This week we're going to be talking about The New Rogues. This is the episode that just came out a few hours ago. I just finished watching it and I had to provide my thoughts on it. It's not easy to say the least, considering that, yes, you're going to be quite busy with a bunch of other things. So, here's the deal. I'm going to be providing my thoughts on the episode with a little bit of a summary, and then what I liked, disliked about it, as well as some interesting things that I noticed. Anyway, let's get the show on the road. 3 years ago, a man named Sam Scudder and Rosalind Dillon meet with Snart, aka Leonard Snart, and a few of his associates. They wanted out, and Snart was willing to, after a brutal fight. But then the particle accelerator explosion happened, and you can probably guess where that's going to lead. 3 years later, Scudder returns, out of a mirror of all things, with one goal in mind: revenge. If that isn't enough, he's bringing along someone with some major powers of Vertigo. Can Barry, along with Jesse and his allies, be able to not only stop Scudder and his girl from causing trouble, but prevent him from bringing destruction to Central City? Okay, it's not much of a summary, but let's face it, this episode, it was alright. It was alright at best because now we get to see some new villains for a change. Though it did begin with what happened last week with the attack with Dr. Alchemy. However, this week we now have new villains, and I'll be explaining them in a bit. This episode, well, basically if I were to explain it, it would be summed up as some character development and some building of relationships between Barry and Iris, as well as Wally and Jesse from Earth 2. And we finally get to hear Jesse's battle name, her name when she's in costume as Jessie Quick. Very nice. And I do like her costume, it is pretty good, though it's starting to remind me of her post-Titans clothes, after how do I put this? What issue of the Titans? 21, 22 or so forth? Yeah, I think so, because she ended up getting a second uniform, which really wasn't that great. But here, it's kind of okay. It really is alright. Though there were some funny bits, especially with Barry and Iris, and Joe just looking at them and wondering what the heck is going on with these two. They were having a little make-out session, then Joe comes out of nowhere and interrupts. Not before Barry goes really fast and everything. It was kind of funny at least, because yes, I know those two really want to make it work. The only problem is Joe West. Joe West is Iris's dad, and Barry, being the nice guy, has to show respect. However, it can get a bit troublesome, especially for Iris later on down the line. It was kind of funny at best, but it goes to show how their relationship is. And the relationship is very strong. Very strong, because it's been that way for 2 previous seasons. Anyway, this week, oh yeah, I forgot about Wally and Jesse. Their relationship is growing. Though at first it got a bit of a rocky start, but later on, yeah, you can tell these two are going to be getting it on. And I kind of like their relationship. They start off as friends at first, but after a while, after some insecurities are put to rest, yeah, at least it's something really nice. I liked it. This week's villains, well, today we have 2 villains of the week. Sam Scudder and Rosalind Dillon. For anybody wondering, Sam Scudder is the first Mirror Master and is a recurring Flash villain way back in the beginning, from the 50s. There were actually 2 Mirror Masters, and it's nice they're bringing in the first one. The only thing that's missing would be Sam Scudder using some kind of device to fire laser blasts, because it wouldn't be Mirror Master without it. Sam Scudder's powers as the Mirror Master allows him to travel to and from mirrors, basically giving him a sort of defensive advantage because he can always hide in a mirror and then strike when he least expects it. That's how he was able to get Barry trapped in a mirror. And also Rosalind Dillon, aka The Top. And for anybody wondering, The Top is also a Flash villain. However, the difference here is that in the TV show, The Flash, it's a woman. However, in the comics, it was a man. The Top first appeared in Flash number 122, and he was a member of the Rogues. His name was Roscoe Dillon. However, here, this one is Rosalind Dillon. Yeah, they're doing a gender-bent version for this time around. However, here, well, that's where the differences are put aside, because in the comics, the Top is able to spin at incredible speeds like a top, like at high speed, and he can be able to outwit the Flash. He even had like bombs. But eventually he would end up having some new powers, like induce severe disorientation and vertigo. That's what this top in the TV show does, basically inducing vertigo. And that's just, it can be scary. Imagine having to go through vertigo. And that's a scary thought. Very, very scary. And she was able to give Jesse a hard time. It didn't last long in the rematch, though. But what can you do, honestly? What can you do? They turn out to be a very devastating pair. Very devastating. Sadly, they get taken down, especially at the end. But how Mirror Master got taken down was just rather cool. And you want to know something else? It was nice seeing the actor who played Leonard Snart again. If anybody watches the show Legends of Tomorrow, then you know that during the events of Season 1, Captain Cold basically gives up his life to save the rest of the Legends team. He's dead, sadly, and it sucks. And they mention it in noticeable references, like he's gone. And it's kind of sad. I wish he would actually come back, but nope, you get what you got, whatever. But it was nice seeing Leonard Snart again. And the fun fact for you, the actors who play Leonard Snart and Mick Rory, Cold and Heatwave, they're on prison break. So whenever you see the two on prison break, you just imagine yourself, oh, it's Captain Cold and Heatwave. This time they're trying to get out of jail. It's just rather cool. I really did enjoy seeing Leonard Snart again. Even if it was for like a few instances, the actor who played Leonard Snart, I gotta figure out who he is. Let's see. No. I think it was, not Dominic Purcell. Come on. Yeah, it's it's Wentworth Miller. Wentworth Miller was just truly awesome. It was nice seeing him again, and I hope we do see him again. But what can you do, honestly? What can you do? And last but not least, there is one last thing I do notice. Most of the episode, Caitlin, Cisco, and Earth 2 Wells were hoping to find an alternate Wells to help the Earth 1 group. Guess what? After noticeable attempts, they actually do find one from Earth 19. Now, this is actually interesting since they're involved in the multiverse. And it was also kind of weird seeing Tom Cavanaugh play different versions of himself. And all of it's weird. Like, one of them is a mime. Though they do find one that's the right job, and he's kind of weird. He's a bit more of a lighthearted version of Wells. But I don't really know how this is going to play out. Yeah, it happened, and this is the last time we're actually going to be seeing Earth 2 Wells as well as Jesse. It sucks! But what can you do? What can you really do, honestly? Because now we have a different Wells, and this may make things interesting. Who knows? Who really knows for sure? I couldn't find any negatives about it because the episode was alright. There was a lot more attention centered toward Barry, Iris, and Joe and their relationship, along with a bit of Wally and Jesse. And there's also the villains of the week, which were alright. They were pretty good. Though it makes me wonder if we'll ever see them again because they got beat rather quickly. They did. They were a bit threatening, but they got beat in a very unorthodox way. It don't matter either way, so I give this episode an 8.5 out of 10. It was a pretty good episode. There were a bit of flaws. There was more focus toward Barry and Iris and Joe and all that. It was all right. We didn't get to see Justin Albert, though, and thankfully, I'm all right with that. No disrespect to the actor, of course, but it was okay. But, yeah, I should mention that in the end of the episode, the end of the episode shows Caitlin at her apartment, showering, relaxing, and then her powers start coming into full effect. You heard it here. Basically, due to Flashpoint, aka Barry's stupidity and his actions, Killer Frost is back. We saw the Earth 2 Killer Frost in Season 2. But now, in Earth 1, her powers are taking full effect. Killer Frost is born. Or rather, reborn. Oh yeah, so that's pretty much it for this episode review. It isn't much, but when you have a lot of stuff to take care of, what can you do? I will make this up next week when I do next week's episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy this episode review, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me. Please also make sure you share this video around, especially to anybody who watches The Flash, because I hope to hear your thoughts in the comments, what you guys think. And that's pretty much it. All right, that's it. This is Mega Man NG signing off. Peace out. See you next week.